You're gonna get tired of being broke. You're gonna have to call my name. Baruch 3 and 7. And for this cause, remember, this all about why we at the bottom of society if we God's chosen church. That's what this about. We did not hearken into the voice of the Lord or the law of Moses or the whole Bible period. Baruch 3 and 7. And for this cause, thou hast put fear in our hearts to the intent that we should call upon his name. He said he's going to put so much fear in your heart, you're going to have to call his name. Get tired of seeing what happened to George Floyd and all these other people. You're going to get tired of seeing it. You're going to have to call my name. You're going to get tired of being broke. You're going to have to call my name. And for this cause, thou hast put thy fear in our hearts to the intent that we should call upon his name and praise thee in our captivity. We are still slaves today. So in today's time when you broke, you calling him in your captivity. Today's time when you see what happened to Trayvon Martin and all these people, you gonna call him in your captivity. And for this cause, thou hast put thy fear in our hearts to the intent we should call upon his name and praise thee in our captivity. For we have called to mind all the iniquities of our forefathers. That's what you're doing when you went back to the Bible. You start calling upon all the iniquities of your forefathers. You start remembering all the things that King David did. You start remembering some of the sins that our people did back in the Bible, and you start correcting yourself. He's going to make you do that in your captivity in 2023. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity. Baruch 3 and 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou, which is God, has scattered us. Has scattered us. That's how we got over here in America. That's how we got scattered. Transatlantic slave trade. You was transported across the Atlantic as a slave. God told us that was going to happen to us in Deuteronomy, not hearkening into the law of Moses. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou, which is God, has scattered us for a reproach and a curse. Remember, he told us he's going to curse you for not listening to the law of Moses. For a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments. You don't supposed to be paying no bills right now, fam. You don't supposed to be working for nobody else. You don't supposed to, definitely not the white man. You don't supposed to be working for him. This is a punishment when you have to pay the light bill. This is a punishment when you have to pay rent. This is a punishment when you have to pay the car note. He said you're going to be subject to payments because you didn't want to listen to me. Why you worry about how you going to do this and how you going to do that, but you're not worried about how you going to follow God's law. So since you're not worried about that, make his light bill $800. Since you ain't worried about that, make him have a flat on the road. Make him spend an extra $50 that he really didn't have. Since you ain't worried about them laws, make him get fired for his job today.